Today, I'm going to be talking about physical intimacy and touch and love and how it's all sort of connected and ties together. Marty Ryle writes in his book, Fearfully and Wonderfully Made, that few of us know in an experiential way what it means to touch or be touched in a sacred way. Profane touch has mentored and broken most of us. We are not used to being shown physical affection in a way that is pure and simple. It's just not really something that we see in our, excuse me, I'm getting sick. It's not really something that we see in our American culture. Paul from the early church in the New Testament shows us kind of the opposite of this, what it means to show pure and simple affection. He writes to the Corinthians and tells them to greet him with a holy kiss. That was something that was sacred and special, and it meant, I'm here for you and I'm here to support you. Other cultures greet each other with kisses on the cheek to show warmth, friendship, and familiarity, which again is not really something we do in America or in our culture or to our friends. It'd probably be seen as weird or crossing a line. But if you read further into the Bible, you can also see the opposite of this and the opposite of what Paul does. We meet Judas, who is famously known for kissing Jesus on the cheek before his arrest and eventual crucifixion. And Judas kisses Jesus on the cheek not as an act of friendship, but as a form of betrayal. He takes this sacred greeting and he defiles it and turns it into something with a darker intention. It is so easy for intimacy and physical touch to be turned into something darker, into something that's not intimate in the way that we want it to be. In Leith Ross's song, We Will Never Have Sex, they say, "Oh, you kissed me just to kiss me, not to take me home." It was simple, it was sweetness, and it was good to know. In this song, Leith Ross is basically saying that there's this affection without the expectation of sex, not to take me home. Leith Ross goes on to sing, "If I said you could never touch me, you'd come over and say I looked lovely." And this part of the song talks about how their partner respects their boundaries. Their relationship doesn't need physical affection to work because they love them just as they are. And I think that's not something we see very often in relationships. In relationships, we feel like we have to have physical intimacy in order for the relationship to work. And yes, that's important, but it doesn't have to define the relationship. I also think about the song Beautiful Boy by Isha Tawari, and she sings, "I crave closeness but lose myself in intimacy," which I think is a beautiful line. We're so touch deprived that there are actually businesses where you can pay for someone to cuddle and hold you. This may sound weird, but is it really as bizarre as we think? At our core, we just want a closeness that transcends sex or intimacy. We want someone to hold us, to kiss us, to show us that love is deeper than the expectation of having something more. It is easy to lose yourself in intimacy. It's easy to believe you can't have closeness without intimacy. But physical affection, when displayed in the right way, can be a beautiful thing. For example, kissing your mom goodbye when you're about to leave for college, holding hands with a close friend when you've just learned about something difficult, hugging someone for longer than 10 seconds, taking a nap with a loved one when you're tired, sharing a simple and loving kiss, or kissing your sibling on the forehead when they are sick. These simple forms of affection may seem so base level, but they are incredibly important. They display love without having to speak the words. Love is a verb and it's an action, and it's something that should be pure and untainted. In their song, Tiny Things by Tiny Habits, they say, "Love is a verb, it's an action, it's not a film reenactment. I don't need the moon or a mansion. I'm happy to be standing in the kitchen with you." And this song shows another form of affection, which is just being there with someone, not having sex with them, not being intimate with them, but just being there and doing simple and mundane tasks with them. This also reminds me of the quote from Everything Everywhere All at Once, where he says, "In another life, I would have really just liked doing laundry and taxes with you," which is such a mundane and boring thing, but it shows his love for her is so much more than big romantic gestures. It's the small things that are most intimate, and it's the small things where we can show the most affection and love. We don't have to have physical intimacy to show that we love other people. We can just love other people through our words and through our actions.